Alright, so starting with reciprocal fractions, all you're going to do is take the fraction and turn it upside down. So what do you get for 3/4? Yeah, Joe. Now look, also correct. Not that you have to do this. If you want to change this back to the next number, what would it be as the next number? Let me just kind of go over the process again and how to do it. 3 goes to 4 at least how many times? The denominators will stay the same. What would be the remainder? Joe? 1 and 1/3. Both are correct. If you leave it 4/3, it's okay. I'll give you full credit. What about 1/5? Or a 1/5? Which is what as a whole number? Okay, both are correct. 8 21s. 21st. Turn it upside down. What do you get? I'm going to be referring to this as flipping the fraction because you can see when we do keep, change, flip, what I mean by flip is turn the fraction upside down and invert it. What is that as a mixed number if you choose to do it? Let's do it together. 8 goes into 21 at least how many times? And how many left over? Can you do it in your head? Yup, 2 5/8. Both are correct either or, okay? What about 6? Colin. 6/1 is what it is right now. But then you've got to flip it. Which what? 1/6 is the correct answer. Okay, 5 and 6 get a star. It's easy to learn, but I haven't taught it to you yet. I see it on warm-ups, and I see it on when we do it in review sheets. I'll see kids do this. No good. Yeah, change it. First, change it to an improper fraction. Then flip it. Frogs, what you got? Do you see how I did it? John, are you okay with this?
Yeah, I got it.
Okay. Because as is, if I were just to change it to an improper fraction, you get 20/3. But then I've got to flip it to make this. Dylan, what about number 6? Now flip it. Okay. All right, let's do, hopefully for the last time, the modeling of our last division problem. 3/4 divided by 2/5. Everybody see it? It's kind of very small up there. Okay, first let's create common denominators. So last time I'm going to do this because from here on out we're going to use reciprocal fractions. All right. What should my common denominator be? Preferably my lowest. James. 4 and 5. Give me a common denominator. Give me a number that both 4 and 5 go into. Yep, that'll work. That's my lowest. Alright, create my equivalent fraction. 3/4 is equal to how many 20ths? Geneva. 3/4 is equivalent to how many 20ths?
5.
Think back to when we did ratios, 4 corners. Say it again? You got it. Yeah, times 5. Alright, why don't we do this one too, Geneva? I didn't hear you. You got it. Alright, think statement. How many what and what? 5. Yep. Alright, let's create our number line. Always starting at 0. watch what I'm going to do. They're all in 20ths. 2 20ths. Just going to write the top half. Every now and then I'll throw a denominator on there because you'll see we're going to need it. Alright, we're good. What's my go-to? Phil. Yes. What's my leap by? Leap by. Good girl. Oh, I have one full leap. I do. So I have 2 full leaps. Partial. I started doing something yesterday that I liked and I'm going to incorporate into my lessons next year because it really helped kids to try to figure out what this fractional piece is. Watch what I'm going to do. Tell me if this helps you too, if you have trouble with it. Some of you get it, but I'm going to make these fraction bars. Watch what I'm going to do here. See it? There's my fraction bar. And I'm going to shade all of the boxes leading up to my go-to. How many boxes did I shade? Out of how many? 1 7/8. Alright, it's another visual if it helps you. It also kind of helps you to see the connection between fraction bars and number lines. I think it's a tool. You can use it. Alright, don't forget to answer 1 7/8. So you want you to prove it using numerator shortcut. Well, we already have our 2 like denominators of how many 8 20ths in 15 20ths. So now all we're going to do is do 8 into 15. Figure out how much that is. Alright, so 8 goes into 15 how many times? Absolutely once. How many left over? That's my num. This is my denom. 1 7/8. Good. Much shorter. Shortest is reciprocal fractions. I don't even need a like denominator. All I do is I take the original division expression, which was 3/4 divided by 2/5. Now watch what we're going to do. You keep the first fraction the way it is. I'm going to change division to what? Multiplication. And I'm going to flip the second fraction, which is called the reciprocal fraction. Now just multiply across. 5 times 3, Joe. 4 times 2. Can't leave it like that. It's top heavy. Top heavy meaning that the numerator is bigger than the denominator, so you have to change it back into a mixed number. 8 goes into 15. Look, we already did it. Alright, this is, you're going to learn when we do algebra, but some kids are starting to see it. A fraction is the same thing as division. This is 15 divided by 8. Okay, or 8 into 15, which goes 1 7/8 times. And that's about the last time you're going to see modeling. Now, you can still model things on your own if it helps you to see it, but I want to practice over the next couple of days to keep, change, flip. It's a lot quicker, but there's some rules that have to go along with it along the way. So it's easy, but you got to kind of remember the steps. And the reason why we do it here is, look, suppose I gave you this as a division expression. Okay? It's kind of difficult to find a common denominator between 37 and 58. Now, I could take 37 and 58 and I can multiply it together and I get this big, huge 4-digit number. And it gets really, really difficult to start dealing with fractions that have thousands in the denominator. And you certainly don't want to make a number line with that. Okay? So, it will work, keep, change, flip, with everything. Okay? So that's why we do it. Because you're going to be dealing with more and more bigger numbers. and it's just easier to do it. So here are the rules. First of all, let me repeat after me. Keep, change, flip. Now, things you have to remember, mistakes that kids make. Only the second fraction gets flipped. Some kids sometimes will flip both. If you flip them both, you're not going to get the right answer. Number two, all mixed numbers have to be changed to improper fractions first. That's why we practice it in the warm-up. Number three, after you find the product, which is multiplying, you got to simplify it. That's going to make sure that means if it's an improper fraction, you got to change it to a mixed number, and you're going to have to simplify it, because if you get something like 3 and 2/8, that's not simplified. 2/8 is the same as what fraction? Phil, 3 and 1/4. Now I'm going to show you another little shortcut called cross-reducing tomorrow. That's going to make it even easier. But for right now, just keep an eye on your fractions and make sure that they're reduced. Then, number 4 is big too. Always make sure that your answer always makes sense. Recall from a previous lesson that if the second fraction is smaller than the first, the answer should be greater than 1. I'll kind of show you that as we go along the way. The second fraction is larger than the first, and the answer's got to be always less than 1. And then circle your final answer. You ready to practice? First time we got. Perfect. First, any mixed numbers, yes or no? Yes or no? No. We can go right into keep, change, flip. Keep this. 5, 6. Change division to what? To what with 1/4? Flip it. What do you get? Now multiply across. 5 times 4 is 6 times 1. Can you leave it like that? Gotta change it back into a 6 goes into 20 at least how many times? And if it helps you, before I even do that, I know I'm gonna get a whole number. Some whole number here, but my denominator will always be 6. That's what it is here. That's what's going to be here. It goes 3 times. 18, right? 3 times 6. How many left over? Can I leave it like that? What do I have to do? 3 and 1/3 is my answer. I'll do one more with you, and the rest is you. Okay? Number 2. What do you have to do first? Go, John. Okay, what do we get? 1 times 7 plus 2. Alright, get that first. And by the way, let me just warn you, do not try to change everything into an improper fraction and do keep, change, flip in the same step. You'll get confused. Now I'll do my keep, change, flip. Division becomes 1/2 becomes Joe. Yep. To what? Okay. Alright, let's see what we got on board here. Show me 3, 4, 5 when you're done, okay? Do 3, 4, 5. Show it to me when you're done.